Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today we're looking at a band called War Machine and their album Unknown Soldier. Now this is the sole album from War Machine. They were a band who were around for just a few short years in the 1980s during the glorious New Wave of British Heavy Metal days. They formed in 1983, I think it was, in that fertile New Wave of British Heavy Metal breeding ground around Newcastle, and given that, it was hardly surprising that they'd be signed by Neat Records, who of course were known for signing many other No-Album era bands, such as, just to name but a few, White Spirit, Tigers of Pantang, Fist, Raven, etc. And as for War Machine, they did have something of a unique selling point in the ranks with vocalist Bernadette Mooney, as back then female-fronted UK metal acts were well, quite few and far between, weren't they? Off the top of my head, I can only think of three, which Girl School, Rock Goddess and Satanic Rites. Can't think of any others immediately, but if you can, drop them in the comments below, please. War Machine would cut an early demo back in 1984, which was followed a couple of years later by this debut album, Unknown Soldier. There's only 8 tracks on here with a running time of around about 35 minutes. And let me tell you, they don't muck about, War Machine. Oh no. It's all fast-paced stuff all the way through. We got speedy riffs, some quite nifty, energetic guitar solos, some interesting bass lines that are nice and prominent in the mix from time to time as well, and Mooney's very powerful vocals, which have quite an impressive scope and range to them as well, keeping pace with the frantic energy of the songs. Each one's delivered with some enthusiasm, and at generally around 3 to 4 minutes each. It's concise stuff. No self-indulgence, just honest to goodness heaviness, with all those typical requisite New Wave of British Heavy Metal trademarks. To pick some out, Sacred Hold is a very powerful opener. The remainder of the album's in a similar vein, fast, heavy. There's a track called Power, which is aptly named because it's got plenty of it. Here and there's an occasional use of some little light keyboard work, which is used very sparingly, and so it doesn't outstay its welcome and mess things up too much, because this isn't around that. It's just straightforward power. And then the closing track, Warrior. This is a more of a sort of a slower, brooding style as an interesting variation to the general speed and heaviness of what's gone before. And then it builds up to quite a crescendo with a really nifty guitar solo as well towards the end of it. So excellent stuff, I think, and it showed that War Machine had some potential for that kind of stuff in addition to the faster things as well. Now, War Machine didn't last too much longer after Unknown Soldier. I think there was a demo a couple of years later, but there wouldn't be any follow-up album, and that seemed to be it for the band, although in addition to War Machine, Unknown Soldier, getting confused, I'm very old. In addition to Unknown Soldier, there would be some of their songs would appear on various compilation albums which appeared at the time. And so, although they didn't last that long, just add them to that long list of New Wave of British Heavy Metal era bands which tried very hard, could have been better, but that didn't get the breaks and didn't make it and drifted away. But with Unknown Soldier, War Machine's delivered quite a worthy album in my opinion. It's just been reissued on CD via Golden Core Records. I would suggest check it out, particularly if you're nostalgic for the old days, as I am, or you just like your metal fast and in your face. I bought my copy from Amazon, which I'll put a link to underneath below, and also a link to Golden Core Records if you want to get it direct. There'll be other outlets, I'm sure, if you look around. So that's War Machine and Unknown Soldier. please, if you wouldn't mind doing so, subscribe to the channel before you go, because that'd be excellent and a big help. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.